I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. You'll never guess what we just did. $710 KNUS in Denver.
And on the Answer, AM 1430, FM 101.1 in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show. News Talk 710 KNUS down in Colorado Springs. We're all over the place. And all right, so people are asking, what are we going to do about this effort to
legalize prostitution?
Commercialize prostitution, legalize prostitution in Colorado. And I have designed a form letter, an app, where if you just enter your information, I'll identify who your lawmaker is, and then I've pre-written the letter so you can just click and send. But the domain is a little complicated, right? You got to go law and order. I run an organization called Colorado Center for Law and Order in my free time because that's just what I do. I build political movements. So I'm going through the whole registration thing. Well, tell me about your business right now at GoDaddy.com. So I'm sitting there going, the domain's too complicated to get you to the app. Let's just buy a vanity URL. And Billy and I were going through what that should be. And we settled in on NoColoradoHookers.com. I don't know if we're going to stay on the air. We'll see. No, I'm not going to build a website. GoDaddy. So I'm building this right now as we speak. I will get it connected and forwarded, and then you go to NoColoradoHookers.com, and believe me, it won't take you anywhere inappropriate. It's going to be a direct forward. So I got to click forward domain to an app where you can send a form letter to the lawmakers. All right. So the work firewall is not going to allow me to go here. Oh, God.
That's funny. I like the name, though. Just got to throw the hookers in there, just because. Now, the form letter. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Do not let me write the form letter. Don't do that. It would be totally inappropriate.
All right. It's live, so you can go there.
Hey, all right.
You'll then click on the thing that says decriminalizing prostitution, and you can fill it out there. So, NoColoradoHookers.com, owned by the Jeff and Bill Show.
Excellent. That's fantastic. That is ridiculously fun.
Right.
It's just, oh my God.
Boy, we apologize.
Yes, we are sorry.
But not really.
No, not really. Not at all.
We're stopping this thing. All right, now it's time. Do we want to do phone calls or do you want to do news?
Hey, let's hit Marcus real quick. Let's hit Marcus and we'll do news. Yeah. Hey, Marcus, what's on your mind, man, about the ladies of the evening?
Well, I think they should bring them back like introducing the wolf. Central City and Black Hawk was known for gambling and prostitution and gold miners. It's part of our history. Bring them back. I would agree with you, Marcus, only if we tag them and identify them by number and then have an app and where you can track their location. We all could watch.
Do we have to pay for all the families they destroy, too?
No, that's Marlon Perkins and Jim out there, Mutual of Omaha tracking.
Exactly, Mutual of Omaha. Nice reference, Marcus. You're the best.
All right, Marcus.
Yeah,
Marcus
thanks,
Aurora,
Marcus.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
And now, in the wilds of 16th Street Mall, we see the hooker stalking her prey.
Would these be cougars?
No, this would just be, we could just say hookers. We could sit there and say, and now they slowly approaches. Is that a target? Is he a businessman visiting from out of town? Or is he, oh, wait, undercover cop, run, run, run. I mean, we could have a lot of fun with this.
Now it's time for the news.
Blake Olson, news and comment. Hey, good Tuesday morning. 53 and partly cloudy in Denver. 52 in the Springs, expecting highs in the upper 60s today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning. For a new home heating and cooling system, contact your Lennox dealer, Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at pastorcamp.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Our top story.
You're going to hear the president share the stories of everyday Americans who have benefited from his policies. You're going to hear the president share tear-jerking stories of American heroes, past and present.
Caroline Leavitt, 47's first State of the Union speech of his second term is set for tonight. Many Democratic lawmakers are planning to boycott the address before a joint session of Congress. You could hear the State of the Union right here on KNUS at 7 o'clock. If you're not watching the internet or the tube, you can also hear it in Colorado Springs, of course. 47 is pushing back against reports about the top U.S. general warning him that strikes against Iran pose substantial risks. Axios first reported General Dan Kane told DJT the U.S. could end up in a prolonged Middle East conflict. Trump posted that stories saying Kane is against going to war with Iran are 100% incorrect. Well, all you have to do is watch Lindsey Graham. When you watch Lindsey Graham and he's getting all excited about war, it's time to pump the brakes. A bill advancing at the state capitol would direct $5 million from the state's Climber Loan Program into the Colorado Startup Loan Fund to support small businesses. Dr. Kenya Lee, owner of Purely Redefined in the Springs, says the Climber Loan Program has already made a critical difference for her business.
We started to grow and we needed some capital in which to do that. And we also needed to be able to invest in new equipment and all sorts of things just to stay competitive.
The proposal is designed to help businesses still recovering from economic challenges and provide more flexible financing options. The Climber program was launched during the pandemic to assist businesses affected by shutdowns. The bill has passed the House and is now headed to the Senate. Flights to and from some areas of Mexico have been canceled or rescheduled after a wave of cartel violence following the killing of the notorious drug lord by the Mexican Army. Visitors in the resort city of Puerto Vallarta have been asked to stay indoors for now. Violence in the other parts of the country has subsided and things are returning to normal. 24-year-old Chance Leon Lipscomb taken into custody last night after two women were assaulted near South Broadway in January. He faces charges of assault in the second degree and second-degree kidnapping. New details are emerging in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance case.
Her daughter, Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, is making another video with an acknowledgement that they may not get the resolution they're hoping for. Jesse Kirsch is in Tucson.
Savannah making yet another plea to anyone out there who might know something about where her mother is.
She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million.
The FBI reiterated in their own post that its $100,000 reward also remains active. Last week, an anonymous donor matched that amount, making the total reward money to information leading to the return of Nancy at $1.2 million. I'm Lisa Taylor.
The Celtics at the Nuggets tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's 36 in the Springs, 37 in Denver, actually. 52 and 53 in the Springs and Denver. I'm Blake Olson. That is the latest. More of the Jeff and Bill show ahead on News Talk 710 KNUS in Denver, and now on AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you hear both sides. We are the Jeff and Bill show.
Very strong jet stream winds pushing off the Pacific coast will push very mild air into the Front Range. Colorado Springs and Denver and Pueblo and up to Fort Collins and all points in between will see 60s to near 70 today and tomorrow. These strong jet stream winds, though, will transport a lot of wind and snow to Colorado's mountains, especially the mountains along I-70 and points north. So good for the snowpack and the ski areas. For the Front Range, it's mainly going to mean mild, windy conditions today and tomorrow. A little bit cooler behind the front, but not by much for Thursday and Friday. As we get into tomorrow and tomorrow night, a few rain and snow showers could come off the foothills and mountains onto the Front Range, but we expect very little in the way of any significant moisture out of that pattern. 60s today to near 70, 60s tomorrow, lower 40s tonight, 30s tomorrow night, a little bit cooler Thursday and Friday. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
.710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is where you hear both sides of an issue. Speaking of that, battle lines being drawn as Colorado considers decriminalizing prostitution. The bill has been introduced. It does not provide a regulatory framework. Instead, local governments may no longer prohibit prostitution. They may also not deny applications for a business license when the applicant has been convicted of soliciting prostitution. They would be prohibited from banning the advertising of prostitution and escort services. You mentioned that, Bill. This is like when I titled an email to folks yesterday, like just when you think Colorado couldn't sink any lower. It's like, what?
Yeah, and shout out to Peter Boyles, who's been talking about this with text messages with Jeff and I this morning saying, is this the new safe injection sites?
Yeah, right.
And you can make your own pun there with the safe injection sites. You can do your own puns there. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to talk to HR again.
Mr. Thorpe.
I don't want to talk to HR again. Not
Douglas
this
County Sheriff Darren Weekly calling the bill unconscionable. He's exactly right. Trafficking victims are already being manipulated. They're being intimidated to get into this line of work. I think for the legislature to try and legalize this and potentially make it more difficult to identify trafficking victims is horrible. We already have that problem. We talked to Mitch Morrissey about that too. Colorado has a major human trafficking problem. It's got a major drug problem. It's got a major crime problem. Is this what you want next for it? Let's go to the phone lines in just a second. First, Bill, let's talk game day men's health. Gentlemen, as we get older, we know things change. Maybe you haven't been feeling like yourself, more tired, more fatigued, more stressed than you want to admit. We hear this all the time. Men are feeling that the spark of energy is disappearing as you get older. Lower energy means always feeling like you just can't get out of second gear. Well, Game Day Men's Health has the solution. And their motto, helping guys be better dads, better husbands, and better men. Bill, take it away.
Yeah, that's the phrase that we saw in their break room, not in the front lobby when you walk in. That's what changed our mind about really convincing us that Game Day Men's Health is approaching this differently. When they are telling, not as an advertising slogan, but as a mission statement of the people working there, that their mission is to help guys be better dads, better husbands, better men. Jeff and I took notice, and you should too, because Game Day Men's Health is going to remind you about that time in your life when you had that all-day energy, when it was no big deal to maybe hit the gym or practice or pick a basketball game after a long day's work. That time in which you were excited to run out into the yard and goof around with the kids, and maybe now it's taking a little too much energy, that you're like, oh, I've lost focus throughout the day. I just want to sit down and can just people not talk to me for half an hour or so when I get home. If you're feeling that kind of stress, that kind of fatigue, that kind of brain fog, and you just can't get out of second gear, Game Day Men's Health is the solution. Here's the reason that we're working with them. One, they do a free testosterone check while you wait. The other reason is they have a month-to-month program. When Jeff and I are researching this, we found out the other bigger companies in town offer you year-long, 2-year-long, 3-year-long commitments. They say before you even figure out whether or not this is going to work for you, you've got to commit to paying us for an entire year. Jeff and I both thought that was crazy. When we found out that Game Day Men's Health does it differently and you go month to month, they are that certain of their program working for you using their data-driven results, they allow you to go month to month. Why don't those other places do? Ask yourself that before you sign up. Check out Game Day Men's Health. You can find the location nearest you. They've got locations in Aurora, Cherry Creek, Parker, Inglewood, and Thornton. You know, I got to remember that. All I got to remember is the website, GameDayKNUS.com. GameDayKNUS.com. You can schedule your free testosterone appointment right there. This is a small business that operates with a national footprint. They're not doing the Walmart type of things the other bigger names you've heard on those other stations are. Game Day Men's Health is different. Personal, private, data-driven. They help dads be better husbands and better men. It's got to do.
And that's what we're trying to do too by stopping the decriminalization of prostitution.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go to the phone lines. Jen in Denver. Good morning, Jen. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Good morning. First off, Bill, thanks for being my ride freshman year to high school.
Oh, no way, Jen. You rock. Oh, my God. You're the best. That was so cool.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm morally opposed to this bill for many, many reasons, but I don't think the legislature has thought through the implications of this for their transgender ideology. If sex at work is commercial work, will there be truth in advertising? How will this conflict with House Bill 1312, which makes it illegal to misgender? I just think that, they really, truly haven't thought this through, given their other ideological priorities.
Not thinking things through is the hallmark of our current leadership down there, Jen. I mean, Jen, you and I have met too at a Denver event. I think you live down there. I don't. Is this, when you think of what Denver needs to do to turn things around, make it a world-class city, prostitution? Does that come to mind?
Look, I've lived off of Colfax for 25 years. I have had nights early in our days living there where I came home late from work and found a hooker and her John doing their business in my carport. I have seen the implications of all of that, and it's the last thing that Denver needs. And I'd also add, I don't know if we've talked about this much, but addiction is highly correlated with people who engage in commercial sex work. And in my own recovery, I've counseled several women who are trying to get sober and who have prostitution as a part of their history, whether it was drugs that drove them to it, or, that's what they ended up doing to get through it. But it scars them so terribly for life. And, it's just another disruption, just more disorder on our streets, right? Because this bill says go for it, which means my neighborhood is free territory again, even though it's roughly been free territory, Colfax's reputation.
Well,
and it's the last thing we need.
And Jen, to that point, we saw that with marijuana. I remember talking to law enforcement in Utah and Nebraska at a conference one time, and they're like, "Oh, man, we love the fact you guys decriminalized pot because it just emptied our communities. They all came to Colorado." So when you create this type of community of permissiveness, it's going to draw permissive people.
Yeah, and the other thing,
everybody pray.
And the other thing, Jen, that I think you've hit on that we kind of danced around the rest of this is the value of the human individual. Where you're kind of going with this is the idea that these women are taking something that is so special and deciding it's up for sale. That what does that mean for us as a community, and what does that mean for them? I mean, that's pretty heavy to deal with as far as something that is so special. Yeah, that it becomes a commodity. It becomes that if this that is so special to you and is usually done in the building of a relationship and something that is a supportive, loving situation, if it's just instead an economic transaction, then what does it really mean at that point? Why should we assume that anybody should want to grow up, get married, have a family, and find someone that fulfills them on the other side of it, of that ledger as a couple, if you can just go out and pay for it on the street, if that sex is what you're looking for as part of that relationship? It's hard.
One of the women that I sponsored, she was a stripper. And when the state closed her place of business for COVID, she sold herself. And I don't know if she'll ever recover from doing that. With God's help and doing other things, it will. But it has major implications for future relationships, for how you think about yourself. And for the state of Colorado to say that's okay, I just question what it says about who we are as a people. If this isn't the line we can draw, we have no lines.
Jen, I couldn't have said it better. That is remarkable. Yeah. That is exactly right. Jen from Denver, thank you so much for the call.
So nice to hear your voice.
Phone line open, 303-696-1971. To your point and to hers, my mind goes back to Anne Hathaway's character in Les Mis.
Oh, yeah.
Where she just is forced at her very end to do that, and how it destroys her. It's heartbreaking.
And I can see what Jen was saying about future relationships, because once a woman or man has decided that that particular act is up for sale, what does it mean to anyone else you may try to build a real in-world relationship with beyond that? If you were willing to sell it earlier, how much does this really mean to you? This is a really weird direction to take that, but I've often wondered about anyone who gets involved in a relationship with someone that is in the porn industry. It's that idea of, if they're willing to go and do this performatively on screen for thousands or tens of thousands of people, if not millions, then what's special about our time together? I know that the person says, oh no, it's different, but is it?
There's so much there. Bill, I used to do ministry in Los Angeles, and there was a woman that came out of that industry at our church, and we were trying to help her break free of the legal contracts that she had. So she had found new life in Jesus Christ, and her videos were still everywhere. She's trying to get those off. She wants to build a family. That's following her everywhere. So there were legal consequences. There were health consequences. There were relationship consequences. She was wounded in so many ways. And then my mind goes to how Christ treated the woman at the well, who had a series of husbands at that point, or the woman caught in adultery. It was not, hey, all right, get back in there. It was healing. It was go sin no more. It was restoration that came through Christ from the brokenness that came from that industry. And for Colorado to just open the doors. I have said it over and over again. I think we're one of the most godless states out there right now. And this type of activity confirms that. Feel free to join the conversation. Jump in. Again, the headline coming from the Gazette, battle lines being drawn as Colorado considers decriminalizing prostitution. Folks, let's talk gyries. They're all over the Denver metro area. My wife and I went to the one in Parker and had an absolutely fantastic experience. We got to sit down with their professional designer who showed us an incredible selection of Hunter Douglas custom blinds, shades, and shutters. I was a little overwhelmed at first. I've never worked with a design pro, but she was awesome. She walked us through everything and helped us find the perfect option to enhance the look and functionality of our home. So whether your curtains are clashing or you just want a fresh look, Gyries has the solutions for you. Their designers are experts that can help you with everything from window treatments to full room decor. In fact, we got part of our home with new blinds. We're going back for a second visit now. They're coming out, installing those. We've been thrilled every single day. I'm thrilled with what we did with Gyries. They offer a personalized in-home consultation. They'll come directly to you, so you can get the same expert advice right in your own home. Do yourself a favor. Get started today. Visit Gyries.com, Guirys.com, to schedule your in-home consultation. That's Gyries, Guirys.com. Go see the great people at Gyries. You'll be sure to thank me. And we will continue with your phone calls and texts. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show, News Talk 710, KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you get to hear both sides. Gary's up next. We're waiting for your phone call as well. We'll be right back. This is The Jeff and Bill Show.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Let's go. Loser! You're a loser!
The Losers Club. Bunch of
710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show. This is an interesting one. We're talking the decriminalization of prostitution and all the silliness there. And we also have a State of the Union and a congressman coming up here.
Yeah, this is
about
weird
15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Oh, there's so many jokes there. I'm not going to go. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Gary and Thornton. Good morning, Gary. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Good morning, Jeff and Bill. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, Jeff, you hit it on the nail earlier when you said chaos and order, about you were referring to the Bible. I think they're just pouring gas on our situation and what we're going through in this time in our society. And then where's the money going to come from? Because it's going to take government money to do. They can't just legalize it. There's got to be some kind of structure to it, right?
Yeah, there's got to be regulation, testing.
I mean, you look at like marijuana in California is actually propped up by taxpayers now because it can't compete with the black market. So, no, it creates a huge mess.
And then Billy referenced half of the 50% of the United States are only in the stock market, right? So that means the other,
about 50, yeah.
So that means the other part is they're just turning us into unthinking, submissive cavemen. And we don't have no independent thought anymore. Everybody carries around their primary thought processor with that iPhone thing. It's just crazy, man. And then if Trump's for real, tonight him and his people would comment on, from Jimmy Carter to the Clintons to the Bushes and the Bidens, how they're all against him, and then talk about what President Obama said. We're not, all their manufacturing jobs aren't coming back. They should just play all these past presidents and all these people on their comments they're making about economic development will never come back, manufacturing will never come back. Well, I think it is a little bit, and they hate Trump so bad because he breaches all the breaches he commits against the established order, right?
Yeah, I would maybe push back a little bit on the manufacturing side because there was a net loss of manufacturing jobs last year, and there was a net loss during Donald Trump's first administration as well. So I am less convinced that the whole tariff plan brings manufacturing back. I'm not convinced
Billy,
of that.
It is, but when you turn the hot water on, it's not hot right when you turn it on, right?
I mean, that's the point. He's trying to turn things around. We became so globalist and dependent on manufacturing in other countries. It's going to take a while. And yes, Billy's right in the sense that manufacturing jobs have declined, but manufacturing itself is coming back. And that could be, that job loss could be related to AI and some of the other stuff. But building stuff back here in America is starting to come back a little bit.
One of the things that we've seen is there was a battery factory that's since been closed by one of the automobile manufacturers. And that was something that was under Biden. And that was manufacturing and jobs now closed. So I disagree on the idea that we're going to be able to tariff ourselves back into a manufacturing country. And if we do, it's going to be robots building the stuff. If you want to go take a look at the mass production shops inside of China, that's where Elon has his gigafactory idea. That's not a lot of people in there assembling cars. Those are robots assembling cars and people watching computers. And so it's not the boon of great paying, high sought after jobs that we think it is. The numbers just simply aren't there.
It's been a year, and like I said, the water isn't hot right when you turn it on. And man, okay. Thank you, guys.
Gary, I think you're right in that assessment. Gary from Thornton, I really appreciate your phone call. His line is open if you want to jump in, 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line at 720-819-5115. Good night. Denver Post even has opinion pieces on this now. Legal prostitution in Colorado more liberal than Nevada's rural brothels. Krista Kafer writing in the jumping in on this debate. Oh gosh, yeah, this is one that's going to be heartbreaking for Colorado, and at a certain point we've got to turn the direction away from what the Democrats are doing in this state because they face at this point no electoral consequences. They can They can continue to run the state into the ground, people complaining about it, introducing laws like decriminalizing prostitution, and they're not facing electoral consequences. So there's this like unhinged element of how crazy can we get with our laws that needs to be addressed and pushed back on by voters to get us back to actually improving our state. Let's talk advanced hair restoration, folks. If you're losing your hair and desire to have it back, then advanced hair restoration has the easiest guaranteed solution. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results. I've seen it with my own eyes. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Paul's modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it will grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now, 720-459-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver and has changed the lives of tens of thousands of people. So don't wait. Check out the before and afters online for yourself at 720-459-HAIR, 720-459-HAIR, or advancedhair.com, advancedhair.com. Let's go to Al in Denver. Good morning, Al. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you? What's on your mind?
I have a question. In the bill, how is a prostitute defined? Is it someone 18 years old? Is it someone 21 years old? How are they going to work that out? And then I'm really concerned that if they legalize prostitution, are they going to legalize children's books in libraries to say, hey, grow up and be a prostitute? Let's be a prostitute. Because there's other books in the library, that promote racism like You Are the Color and anti-Semitism. But with prostitution now in Colorado, is somebody going to write a children's book saying, hey, this is a prostitute, this is what a prostitute does, and they make money in Denver? This is absolutely, they've lost their mind.
I think the better example would be, do they get to show up at career day at the high schools? Do you get to show up then?
Yeah, they do. That's right.
Are they part of it? Now, looking at the bill, they don't define prostitute, but they do define adult. And so adult is anybody over the age of 18. So the implication, based on how I'm reading it, is it decriminalizes sexual activity that is paid between consenting adults. So it does have to be someone that is 18 years or older, but it is unusual that they do not describe anything around the seller or the person that is involved in the prostitution. That is an interesting, piece of the puzzle that has been left out.
Yes, and then they'll have career day at all the high schools in Colorado, and they'll have prostitutes there promoting their wares to the high school students. Well, sorry, I got to go to work.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, Al.
Al, I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely not something we want to be promoting. And that's coming across from a lot of folks. I mean, the only people I'm seeing, and I've had a few folks jump online and try to debate this, is the only people I see promoting this are kind of those in the far fringes of the left right now that just think that we should essentially have needle injection sites, right? It's kind of like the same people that are doing, well, if we create a space where you can do this, then we can manage it better. And you're just like, no, at a certain point, you got to say in society, no, we don't want this. We don't want it promoted. We don't want it encouraged. And when you decriminalize that, you do that type of stuff. We don't want it in our communities. Folks, let's talk Colorado Christian University. How should Christians navigate a world of division with faith, clarity, and hope? Join Colorado Christian University on March 13th at 7 p.m. for the President's Speaker Series featuring nationally renowned commentator, author, and legal scholar Hugh Hewitt. For decades, Hugh Hewitt has interviewed America's top leaders in politics, media, and culture, and now you can hear him live. In his presentation, A Flock of Black Swans, a breakdown of American politics and modern journalism, Hewitt will offer sharp, thought-provoking insights drawn from decades at the forefront of media, law, and public discourse, exploring the unexpected forces shaping our political and cultural landscape. This in-person event tackles the big questions of our time. how Christians engage culture, speak truth with clarity, and live out conviction with grace in a divided world. This Christ-centered evening is open to students, families, and the entire community. Tickets are on sale now. Seating is limited. Don't miss this rare opportunity. Learn more and reserve your seat today at ccu.edu/Hugh Hewitt. That's ccu.edu/Hugh Hewitt. Let's go to Carolyn in Denver. Good morning, Carolyn. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Yeah, good morning. Hello, Carolyn. Are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, we got you. So what's on your mind this morning?
So my thought is that there's a larger problem here in that the General Assembly at this point is a runaway, meaning that because the parties are both so divided, Republicans are so messed up, we don't have a snowball's chance anywhere of electing anybody. So there's no requirement for the General Assembly to behave. And stuff like
I mean, you see it in their personal lives. You see it in this type of legislation. No one's holding them accountable.
There's nothing to hold people back, these people back. I watched in the balcony of the chamber last week, and it was disgusting. They were passing bills like, 3 minutes and another bill passed, 3 minutes and another bill passed. It was horrible to watch. There's like no thought going into what they're doing at all.
Carolyn, you're exactly right. They don't really consider what their constituents say. If you go down and testify, it seems to be purely performative. At this point, they're delivering for special interest groups that pay for their campaigns. They know it. Everybody knows it. And unfortunately, until the people of Colorado step up and deal with it, it's not going to change. Carolyn, Denver, I appreciate you going down there and speaking into all this. We have Congressman Jeff Crank coming up. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show, News Talk 710 KNUS in Denver.
And now on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you get to hear both sides. We are the Jeff and Bill Show.
710 KNUS in Denver.
And on 1460 AM and FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range. This is the Jeff and Bill Show. It's a big day for us political nerds. It's the State of the Union. President's going to walk into that great announcement. Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States. And then everyone jumps up and cheers. And then even the Democrats will run over and get selfies. By the way, some Democrats aren't going to be there. They're going to do their alternative. And someone raised the idea of the alternative halftime show. Are the Democrats going to have an alternative State of the Union show? Kid Rock, who would perform at the alternative halftime show? Bill, who do you think would perform at an alternative State of the Union for the...
Oh.
If Turning Point had Kid Rock...
Yeah.
Who would the Democrats pick up?
I think they go with do a Bernie Sanders thing. That's what I think they'd lead with Bernie because they'd have to go on the other side.
Yeah.
Again, someone that's really old but will completely disagree with Donald Trump. So you're kind of doing the same thing. So you're like, hey, we'll hear this old dude rant and rave for a while. But it would be a lot of fun to do something that would be more tongue-in-cheek on it. It would be funny I honestly think it would be funny if they got a couple of the Democrat lawmakers to instead not be there but stream outside and then comment on it or just be goofy with it. There could be something there as far as watching it like you do when you're watching video games or something else when you do watch-alongs. I don't know how many of the people do watch-alongs, but I've got a couple of people that I'll throw down and watch along when I'm watching soccer games. And so I'll pull up this fan page and then I'll just set it down below the TV and just have it run. So it's kind of like someone else is commenting while you're watching it. I think there's some merit there.
There you go. So
we should do that next year.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Really should.
That would be fun. So you do have a little bit of homework tonight. Make sure you watch the State of the Union and then try to analyze what happened and call in tomorrow. We want to hear directly from you. In the meantime, folks, let's talk Black Eyed Pea of Colorado, locally owned and operated by Steve and Michelle. My whole family loves this restaurant. I know yours will as well. Now with 9 locations, there's sure to be one near you. They recently opened one in Fort Collins. Visit them at 807 East Harmony Road. This is the restaurant you want to take the family to. The Black Eyed Pea homestyle cooking worth going out for. They make everything from scratch. Slow-cooked pot roast and meatloaf, chicken fried steak and chicken tenderloins, grilled salmon and grilled and fried shrimp, roasted turkey breast and glazed ham. They've got daily specials, senior discounts. The Black Eyed Pea has what your family is hungry for. They also do catering. Your dinner party, rehearsal dinner, wedding reception, or company event will be a success when you look to the Black Eyed Pea. I'm telling you, I love everything about this restaurant. Keep it in Colorado. Visit the Black Eyed Pea near you. BlackEyedPeaColorado.com. That's BlackEyedPeaColorado.com. State of the Union. Were any success with Congressman Crank? I know it's a busy day.
No.
We were going to try to connect with him, but
I'm worried
we'll
the last
see.
time I called him, it quickly went to voicemail. So he's like, "It's that Thorpe kid again." Stop it.
He actually has to do real work, like meet with his constituents.
Like,
This is the one time where I'd be like, getting on the plane all the time, flying to Washington D.C., dealing with all the crazy headaches. Do you know how much a congressman has to fundraise each week?
Oh, this is probably why I hate the
like
job.
the amount of time they have to devote to it.
I have no idea. It's got to be ridiculous.
It's 2 hours a day of phone calls, 5 days a week. It's 10 hours a week of sitting there and dialing for dollars. So all of that work, all of the airplanes, I might go, okay, the State of the Union's kind of worth it. That would be kind of fun to be in that room and to be able to deliver like that. So,
what does it say that they almost have a second gig having to raise money to do work for the first gig that they don't show up for in a normal work week? I mean, that's what I can't figure out is they're not pulling a 40 like the rest of us in any way, shape, or form. Not even close to a 40. And yet they got this other side gig they got to do to raise. It's just weird. I don't know. And for the Colorado legislature, this is just to put a pin on the idea of this of legalizing prostitution. And this is advice to any of the GOP or anybody running against any of the Democrats that are sponsoring this. Ask about what the hell this is fixing. What sort of a problem are Colorado voters going through at this moment that the time and effort spent on decriminalizing prostitution makes any of our lives or situations better. I can't figure out how this helps me with property taxes. I can't figure out how this helps me get my schools in better shape. I can't figure out how this fixes the roads or the bridges. Can't figure out how this lowers personal income tax. I don't think, and we could keep going. I can't figure out how this protects Tabor. I can't figure out how this closes our state budget loophole of $1 billion. I can't figure out what problem this solves for the average Coloradan. And I'm of the opinion that if we have $1 billion hole in our budget, fixing that and the workaday problems for the Colorado voters, that's it. Nothing else on that list, because you're losing money and our roads and bridges and our sidewalks suck. There are a whole bunch of other things that are problems too, but this is on your list of priorities. Every single Republican should be challenging the Democrats on their list of priorities based on this.
You're exactly right in your analysis on this. I agree with you. I don't think you've been to that many progressive protests where you end up. I've run into these people that say sex work is real work. Like they carry signs that's like sex work is work. And they're trying to legitimize this. That's the constituency they're responding right now. And what's wild to me is each lawmaker, to your point, gets 3 bills and went, you know which constituency?
Yeah, I want to serve.
I'm going to advocate for today. It's those people that carry the signs that say sex work is work.
The thing is, if our property taxes were really, really low and Tabor had kept our budget in line, our kids were achieving at grade level and beyond, that we were flush in the cash, and we were worried about, people listening to the Jeff and Bill show were worried about, what am I going to do? Am I going to buy another car? Maybe I can finally afford that vacation home. When we get to that level, okay, now I'm willing to debate prostitution with you. But until then, I have such a larger list of things that I want to moan and complain about that is so far down the list. Why are you wasting any of your limited legislative time, and as Jeff points out, your limited opportunities to run bills for this? Explain to me what problem you're fixing for an average Coloradan voter. This is ridiculous. This is stupid, and should be hung around all the Democrats that support this legislature like an albatross around their neck. It should be a question that appears at every town hall, a question that appears in every debate, a question that appears every time they're in front of the microphone.
Bill, Kyle Clark's only going to chase Scott Bottoms around.
I know. That's the thing, it's how good is it? But this is a great question, and this gives the sizzle that Kyle's looking for when he chases Scott Bottoms. You should go down there and chase the lawmakers asking about the whores. Why are you going to protect the whores? I want to see Scott. I want to see sport coat boy down there doing that one.
If you'd like to send a message to lawmakers, you can go to nocoloradohookers.com. Billy and I bought that URL and forwarded it to an app I built.
Jeff said we can't have whores in the name, and I was mad. He's right, but I'm still mad.
coloradohookers.com. And may I just remind you all of the connection between all these. Ronald Reagan once saying politics is supposed to be the second oldest profession. I've come to realize that it bears a very close resemblance to the first.
That's good. That's very good. Very appropriate.
All right. You got the State of the Union tonight. I did get a message from Jeff Crank's people saying he just got called before a committee and he has to go ask those questions. You ever seen that on TV where the congressman? That's what Jeff was doing right now. He'll make it up to us tomorrow. So he will be joining us to provide some analysis. Tomorrow we'll try to get more members of the delegation, get all their thoughts on. Tonight is Super Bowl for the nerds.
And there's a bingo card. Tell them about the bingo card.
That's right. Faith, the history teacher, one of our listeners, she's an AP government teacher, and she created a bingo card for her students. She shared it with us. So if you go to x.com/Jeff Hunt, you can download the bingo card there. A very special thank you to Faith, the history teacher, for doing that. We'll be back tomorrow with all of your analysis, all of the debate, and we want you to be a part of it. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show, 710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. We'll catch you tomorrow.